Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's number one state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Onto the like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It is official. Game is on. We have entered. World War III. Finally, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai. Although this is not the end all to be all, this is the stage that is set, that's being set, all right, outside of America. And the ultimate end game, the ultimate tester is the RFID microchip. But the Yahweh, let his prophecies be fulfilled, and is being fulfilled, has set the stage up beautifully of the point of no return. And this, we are at the point of no return. There is no peace talk that shall come out of this. There is that rhetoric that he that nonsense that came out of his mouth makes absolutely no sense. None. How you bomb uh, a sovereign nation and tell the nation that you bombed, all right, that did not do nothing towards you to surrender, and turn around and calling them the bully. This is why, hey, even the nations. I'm just speaking as a man. I would say, even the nations have been prophesying why America's so fucking horrible. Even the nations, when he said death to America, and he said it. Oh yeah, he did say. He said, yeah, they said death to America, death to Israel, and at the time, you could say, yeah, they did this. They crazy. But now we see why they say that. We actually see it. The nations see it. All right, the world sees it, and what the world's seeing is that America is out of control, and he done all this shit that's out of control under the guise of what? Under the guise of false pretense. What? Because they're the bullies. Only 1,000 of you killed the thousands. If you want to go from tick for tack, and he's the same president that said about 9/11 and all this other stuff and how it was pointless. So this is all a dog and pony show that we have entered. We have entered the twilight zone. We have entered shit that doesn't make no fucking sense. This is why the nations hate the whore. This is why everybody can't stand this place. Okay? Out of all nations on the planet Earth, who's the only one that dropped a, a evil bomb upon another nation when the nation already surrendered? Yet you want to be the police of the world to tell others you can't have this toy. So like I was watching the news, this thing has been popping all night, and one guy said now you push Iran to have a nuclear weapon because a nuclear weapon is a deterrent. Because everybody else that have the same capability that you have, you don't give them all that smoke. So this technically, I mean, to be honest, we used to think that Iran has a nuclear bomb. They never had a nuclear bomb because they never did this to any nation that actually physically required a nuclear bomb. They didn't do this to North Korea. All right, they didn't do this to India, Pakistan. They said the last people that actually the two nations that was part of that deal, the takedown of the Middle East. The last two nations that was a part of that deal was it was Iraq and Libya. Both of the presidents, the leaders, decided not to have a nuclear bomb, and they came back and screwed them up and overthrew their governments. So this thing that this happened shows that this man, Orange Man, the leader of the most sickest, evilest empire in the planet Earth, has led his country to the ultimate downfall. It's in their blood. Look at them. These are some war. These are men that love war. All right. Like he said, we have the greatest military because they believe that they're the greatest. They can be untouched. You just led, man. The scriptures don't lie. Matter of fact, let me get this one first, and then I'll get Revelation 6:4. And they went out another horse that was red. Now, when you go into the scriptures, when you go into Genesis, the 25th chapter, gives you a depiction of Esau, which we know today is the so-called white man. What proves it? And what proves this is Esau is a white man? What was his blessing? The sword. Genesis, the 27th chapter, 38 on down, tells you that thou shalt live by thy sword shall thy live. What is a sword? A sword is a killing instrument. What is the greatest killing instrument on the planet Earth? Is ICBM nuclear missiles. Point blank, period. End of discussion. No need to debate. Whoever controls it, the majority of it, is running the world today. Anybody that doesn't have it, you are nothing. And we are seeing that live and direct. All right. It says, and the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. How the hell that the same breath he's talking about the peace is gonna come after you bomb somebody? You bomb the sovereign state. Let's get the stories correct. That's why I put all the wirings together. All right. You attacked a sovereign nation who has the right to defend themselves from no matter what. They didn't attack no American. You know, it's when if if the history books can write it, if it wasn't dictated by these animalistic people, it would have shown the whole world that this evil empire is that evil empire that the Bible speaks of. That you started every single fucking war on the planet Earth for your own self-interest. Nobody did nothing. World War II, they could say whatever they want. They got dragged into the war because Pearl Harbor. All right, that's what they could say. 9/11, that was an attack, but they literally attacked another nation this evening and then cry about peace. And it says, and he that sat thereon took peace from the earth, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So this man is the living embodiment of wickedness. All right, not the orange man, not just the orange man, the orange man's people, which are Esau, Edom. They're taking peace from the earth. So crying about bless this, bless that, peace, and in the same token, in the same breath, there's wars in his heart. The scriptures got him down pat. Psalms, I believe it's 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. They had to sit down a peace treaty. That means nobody's supposed to do anything, and bomb the mother effers that went to there for the peace treaty. Because why? He have broken his covenant. Sorry. He has broken his covenant. Okay? He has broken the covenant which is an agreement. Let me read again. Say, he have put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He have broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. I said, the words of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. So they want the war. They want a sleeper cell to interact. Why? Because they want to bring in their new world order. They want to bring in their new world order. That's why. It says, his words were softer than order, yet they were drawn swords. He said for them to surrender, and it simultaneously to draw swords, set up everything in motion, so that we are in the place in this world. There is no returning back. The genie's out the bottle. The toothpaste is out of the tube. Meaning you can never put it back. It's over. It's over. All right. Everything we've been saying through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai is happening. Jeremiah. I'll read this one at 49. 49 and I'm sorry. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. What is the counsel of the Lord? The prophecies. Everything that's happening now has been preordained. All right, Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the, has made their own enemies round about. This is pissing everybody off around the world. All right, he's sitting there boasting and bragging about the military might. What are you going to do when everybody in the world comes against you, even your own allies? That's the $1 million question, and that's exactly what's going to end up happening. The biggest threat on the planet Earth is Esau, Edom. AI, when just like what Terminator, Skynet, determined, calculated man was the biggest threat, and it ended up nuking every fucking body. Well, when they narrowed it down, out of all people on the planet Earth, the one that co-signed its existence is the biggest threat on the planet Earth. All right. So the counsel of the Lord is against this man. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purpose that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman is what? The German scientists. It was after World War II, the splitting of, well, actually before the split, the end of World War II, America took some of the scientists. That's how, quote unquote, the war was won, because they split the atom. The Temanites, which were the Germans, figured, which were also small hatters, figured how to split the atom. The same technology says in Isaiah, what's it, 34 and 17, no 16, that the Lord had created a smith. All right, so that was a wise man of Teman. So the Lord is against the inhabitants of Teman. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. So if they, what is a flock? A flock is, in particular, a flock of goats, a flock of sheep, all right, is a herd of the same kind. So the least of the flock out of all of the Edomites on the planet Earth is the Amalekites, all right, has drawn out, and that's a spirit all day today, from news, every sort of news, saying that America's been drawn. All right, that word been coming out a lot today. Has been drawn out, and go praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. We, if anybody's out there, if you don't understand what was given to us, how special you have to be to receive this great word, and don't take this thing lightly. We've been given this secret for a long period of time. We're seeing it live and direct, worldwide. So if this is coming to fruition, how much more the kingdom of heaven? Enough said. It says, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the future prophecy is what? To make all these people and their lands to be desolate. So this man has assured the end of Esau. Nero slash Trump has ensured the end of Esau. He Benjamin, not a Jew, has aided the end of Esau himself. All right, because they clearly do not fit the prophecy, and they clearly have fit this prophecy. I'm gonna get that. Second Ezra 6 and 9 or 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be a parting? What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau, which was prophetic, what? The taking down of Esau. So the nigga was like, yeah, the Israelis are taking down Esau, which is Iranians. No, no, no. But Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end of the world. So who's given the major blessing? Esau. What blessing was that? The sword. Who's coming down hard on everybody? Esau. All right. America. Matter of fact, I was going to the next chapter. That's what I was from. It says Jeremiah 50, and I'm going to start at 8. It says, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees. Now, the Chaldees were what? The illuminated of the illuminating ones of their time. Egypt had their magi's, which performed magic rituals. The Chaldees were the same occupation. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that. Back up what I'm saying real quick. Daniel, which one is it? Is it 3? Let's try it. Yep. Verse 3. Daniel's 3 and 3. Then the princes and governors and the captains and judges and the treasuries, the counselors, the sheriff, and all the rulers of the province were gathered. I'm sorry, not this one. Was it? I think it's the second one. Yep, there it is. 2 and 2. It says, Then the king commanded to call the magicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, and the Chaldees for to show the king his dream. So let me read this again in the NLT. He called his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, astrologers, and he demanded that they tell him what he had dreamed as they stood before the king. So for and the Chaldeans is the Australian. Actually, they didn't even say, but these are the same people. All right, let's go into Chaldeans real quick. Chaldeans, Hebrew word is kashad yam. Chaldee or code breakers, territories of Lower Mesopotamia, bordering the Persian Gulf. Nope. The inhabitants of the Chaldeans living in the lower Euphrates and the Tigris. A person considered the wisest in the land by extension. And does it tell you particular? Boom, boom, boom. As right here it says the Chaldeans, as if so descendants. Also astrologers, as if pre-verbalating of that people. So they were the magicians, they were the astrologers, they were the wizards, the warlocks, okay, all that good stuff. So just to back up what I just said, it says, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldees. Be as the he goats before the flocks. So yeah, flocks is not just sheep, it's also goats. So the least of the goats, all right, which is Amalek, has drawn out the rest of the flock, which is the other goats. For lo, I will raise cause to come against Babylon an assembly of a great nation from the north country. So what is that north country? That's talking about Russia. The great assembling is what? The BRICS nation. They have a name now, which consists of what? China, Iran, All right, Russia, obviously. North Korea is involved. Turkey's about to flip sides. Pakistan's about to flip. And all of them had a previous an agreement to drop the dollar. Now they're going to have to aid Iran, which is Persia. And they shall set themselves array against her. From thence shall she be taken. The arrow shall be as shall be as of the mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. We're just talking about those ICBM nuclear missiles. The greatest threat that they said that Persia has now now I've come to find out they really never had. Because if they had, America would not get into that land. America would not dare, okay, with that risk. But now they pushed them, and all Iran has to do now is wait for the other nuclear countries to aid them. We are in the break of World War III. All right, we are in the break of that, and it says, "And the Chaldee shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord." That's how much hatred they have for this place. America is the beacon, the land of the beacon light. That light is a evil light. It's all around the world. America's influence is all around the world. The campaign of going to another country to freedom from oppression has been lied. All right, they has been lied. They lied to the world. It says, because you were glad, because you rejoiced. Oh, ye destroyers of my heritage. So it all boils down to the same old beef. What's the Lord's heritage? His people. Who is the Lord's true people? The Israelites. All right, which are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because they were glad that they took us down, because they was glad that they prosper over us. They got too big-headed. It says, because you are grown fat as the heifer, as the grass, as the bellow, as the bulls. So what is a heifer? A heifer is a female cow, which is a cow actually. All right. So when they have enough grass to devour, they feed good, and this place has been feeding good over the masses of the people. All right, all the poor of the people. Any superhero movie, anything, logically, will be totally against America. America has started wars throughout the whole folk and never won. They have not won any war. No matter what the orange man has been trying to spill, they have not won a single war. The last war they won, because they came in the last second. They did not win Vietnam. They did not win the Korean War. All right. They didn't even win Afghanistan. They had to flee. They had to run from Afghanistan. Iraq, still questionable. Syria, they didn't do that. That was a CIA operative. Libya, they can't even say that. They haven't won a single fucking war. How the hell you think they're gonna win a war with Persia? Let's be real logical. But hey, that pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Your mother shall be sore confounded. Who's America's mother? Britain. All right. So this is telling us what's going to happen after this is the shame that is bringing to the world. She that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the uttermost part, the uttermost of the nations shall be a wilderness and a dry and desert, a dry land and a desert. The uttermost part is what? America, the West, is isolated. This isolating land is going to be isolated desert. It's a future. We are in a future desert state. All right. That's why we're not supposed to get comfortable in this bitch. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves array against Babylon round about. all you that bend the bow, which is all the nations that has nuclear capability. The same boogeyman that they just told the world that, yeah, Iran is the bully of the world and so forth. Well, you the bully. America's that bully of the world. So the Lord is going to command all these nations, because this act right here that took place this evening pissed everybody off. Anybody in their right mind is looking at this shit like, oh, we're fucked. This president that said there was no war when he came into office has committed the war. All right? This shit is crazy. It says, all you that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord. It's not because what they did to Iran, not what they did to the world. It's what they did to the Lord. The Lord is the one that stirred it up. The Lord is for the East. That alliance, he's going to big them up to destroy them eventually, to destroy them. But to ultimately destroy his greatest foe, which is America. The same, well, the God that Orange Man was talking about, the only God they worship is Satan. All right? And America's not blessed. They're about to find out real soon. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done so, as she had done, do unto her. And this is for all you people that believe in this continent, this system. You in the wrong side of history. All right, the Lord's gonna get revenge on this bitch. So all that they have done unto these other nations around the world, they want revenge, and all the shit that they have done to the children of Israel, the elect. All right, which they did it to the whole entire children of Israel. The scripture says what? It says in Revelation 18, do double unto her. All right, do double. So it says, cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of the harvest, for the fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. So a great exodus is about to take place. All right, a great exodus. Hey, if anybody out there that got caught out and then you get ousted out of America, you should thank the Lord. You should thank the Lord, because what's about to come down on this place, it was not going to be. This is it. This is gonna shape. This is gonna change the entire world. What's about to come down? Okay, and all these nations are gonna join back to their own people. We got the a thing in New York City that Mayor Adams is told the NYPD to watch out. Why? Because the Iranians that lives here, they may be targeted for hate crime, or they might try to say the small hatters or the people with the small hats are going to get targeted. However they spin it, people are going to stick to their own kind. It says Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria have devoured him, and last this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bones. So this has happened. History is repeating itself. All right, we are among all the nations, but the main bulk is here in America, the focus point, the focal point. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel. Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land as I have punished the king of Syria. I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on caramel and be shone, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilgad. So the Lord is going to physically bring his people back. In those days, in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel for, shall be sought for, and there shall be none. The sins of Judah, and they shall not be found. For I will pardon them whom I reserve, and so that shows you the show of mercy is unto Jacob. We sin as a people, so the Lord is going to forgive us for our sin. All right. The world's going to know because the Lord himself directly is going to he's going to deal with his people. All right. They don't need no nations to give us land. And no, the Most High himself is going to do that. So all this, I got to say like this Fugazi lie, this whole lie that they have built throughout all these years in stating that they are those people. The Lord is not dealing with that at all, because the Lord himself was going to do that. They're fulfilling the prophecy of the occupiers, the thieves, the robbers, that's enjoying the Lord's land. All right. But the Lord is going to pardon all our sins. Go up against the land of Merath, even against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste utterly, destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. Sound of the battle is in the land, a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? Proving that what? Babylon, America is that hammer. All right. And what do you do with a hammer? You beat things. So this nation, oh, we got the greatest nation on the planet. Yeah, you got the greatest nation, which causing all the troubles on the earth. This is not a blessing. This is a curse upon you. All right. No other nation can do what we just did. Yes, that is correct, because the Lord is proving that this is Babylon the Great. All right. Says, how is Babylon become how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So this place has to be put in a point of great power and great oppression around the world. All right. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon. What is a snare? A trap. So the Lord has set up a trap. This whole entire thing, this is why they've been saying that this war that Orange Man has put America in is a quagmire, is a trap. Now you can never get out of that situation. There will be no peace in the Middle East until the set judgment. There will be no peace on the earth until the set judgment. So the Lord has set you up. All right. Oh, America. All right. United States of America. You have been set up. You've been duped. You've been put in a situation that you can never get out of. Thus saith the scriptures. That was not aware. So all the intelligence that they have, all that's people that's in that position of power that Trump have in his office probably told him, like, look, the contingency plan we can get out of. Shit. The last time they attacked the small people, the hat wearers, when they attacked, they said, like, everybody said that was the worst move that you could do. Iran is not to be played with. So now all of a sudden, Iran is a green light. No, you've been set up. And just like an animal, when you see an animal, sometimes they lay down. You're like, why are they laying down for? You know, like leave their belly open so you could tear them apart. Why? Because they can use not only their paws, they can use their other paws as well, and they all can scratch and kill you. So you may think Persia is weak, But Persia's playing a role where you thinking that you winning, but you about to lose. America's about to lose. We are in a dying empire right now. They're about to lose bad. All right. It says there are found also caught because they have strive against the Lord. The Lord have opened his armory, have bring forth the weapons of his indignation. And this whole thing has been about that. What is the Lord's weapons of the indignation? First of all, indignation means righteous anger. So what is the weapon that the Lord is talking about? Those ICBM nuclear missiles. The Lord wants these nations to have that. He wants them to have the nuclear capability. America is saying, nope, we don't want you to have it. So who's going to win? The Heavenly Father or mangy men, Edomite men on the earth? No, the Heavenly Father is going to ensure that Iran has this ability. Iran and their allies have this ability. So this is an open fire cell, firearm cell. All right, everybody get one. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldees, which is the land of America. All right, where the greatest witchcraft ever been done. Come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. So Trump's major L publicly. That's why, once again, I'm gonna quote it. Obadiah, the heart of thy heart. Matter of fact, let me get that. Obadiah, you have been checkmated. All right. Obadiah 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, Caucasians, whose inhabitation is high, that saith in his heart, who will bring me down to the ground? Hey, somebody has to play this role. And Tawadi Yahba Shim Yahshua for being an Israelite. Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom. We almost out of here. Shalom.